Hey guys, today we're doing a video on how to replace the seat cover on your dirt bike or four-wheeler. We're going to be doing it today on this old Honda 4Trax 200SX, and you can see this seat cover is in very poor condition. When I find a four-wheeler that has like a ripped up seat like this, it's usually really cheap because they look ugly. So if you can replace that seat cover, it's a great, easy way to flip it. You can find these seat covers online. Like eBay's a great spot to find them, and normally they're only like $30 to $75, depending on what you're buying. This method will kind of apply to any four-wheeler or dirt bike seat cover that you want to do. First, you need your new seat cover. You need to remove your old seat cover. You're gonna need a stapler. Not this one. I brought this in to show you guys for an example why not, but we'll go over that in a second. I like to use some type of chisel, but like a flathead screwdriver would work. This is for removing the old staples, and then you're gonna want some type of either needle nose or small pliers with like a small tip that you can grab stuff, you know, and pull out those staples. So, and then of course you need staples. The issue with this stapler here, I'll show you. The plastic on these seats is usually pretty hard. So this stapler just doesn't have enough power to get a staple in. What you want is an electric stapler. So I have a nice, like, these are like 200 bucks. I will link up a good, cheap electric stapler that you can buy on Amazon. They're 30 bucks. They'll work just as good as this. They will have a cord though that you'll plug into the wall. And let me just show you here real quick what happens if you try to do it with this stapler. So if you take this stapler, you're going to push it up against. Now, you take the electric stapler. Take a look at that. Obviously, not great. Great. So, you're going to want that electric stapler. So, this is what you're going to need to do here. With your chisel or flathead screwdriver, you're just going to have to work your way around. It's very hard to do with one hand. Now, once you get it up like that, okay, grab it with your pliers, pull it the rest of the way out. You're gonna go the whole way around and get every staple out. All right, then you're just gonna peel this off, the way around. And you're left with this. See, this foam isn't in the best shape. These uneven sections will show up under your new seat cover, okay? So, oh, my daughter made me some pictures. One thing you can do is try to shave them to get rid of like the like really aggressive drops and stuff, so it doesn't show up as much, but it's still gonna show up some. So what I like to do is use like a sharp bread knife and sort of maybe like smooth out some of this, and then it'll kind of disappear under the seat cover a little bit. So the trick with these is to make them as tight as you can. Really stretch them out when you're putting them on, and it'll always end up being a lot nicer. If you put it on kind of loose, you're gonna end up with wrinkles and stuff, and that never looks good on your seat. So, all right, you're gonna want to find the nose of your seat, hook that around, and kind of just set it on there. See how it's fitting, okay? So we're gonna pull this around where it lines up. So when there is a back sewn in like this, you want the top of this right at the top of the transition on the seat. I guess it doesn't make sense, but hopefully you understand what I'm trying to say. We got our 4 staples in there to hold it. Now we're going to stretch it around the front. Pull that around, and I'll staple it in. Make sure she's lined up. Okay. Now, you see how this sits like this? As we pull the rest around, that's going to pull down nice and make our nice tight seat cover. And we're going to This is where a second person comes in really handy. pull this around, really pry it around, and then get your staple in. Now, since I did one side, because there's only one of me, I can only do one, I'm going to put a second staple so it won't rip loose. You need to make sure you pull the other side around the same amount so it stays symmetrical. Put a couple staples in. Is it even? So looks pretty good. We're going to keep pulling this around, pulling everything as tight as possible. So now I'm going to pull this over, around. Flip it, so go side to side and just kind of spread out. Make sure everything's getting pulled even. As far as I am concerned, you can't make the seat cover too tight. The tighter it is, the better it'll be. Okay, so you can see the back part's looking pretty good here. We got to do a little work on the front. It seems like where I stapled right here isn't quite working with the rest. Like it's making a wrinkle there. So I'm going to take those out and kind of try to pull that around a little nicer. But yeah, it's just a slow process. Working your way around, taking your time. The more time you spend on it, the nicer it'll turn out. Starting to look pretty good. As we go around, we're going to keep going and pulling it tight as we staple around. A lot of these small wrinkles are going to disappear. You will see these lumps. This is what I was talking about from the foam underneath, but you know, it's not that bad. All right, so now once you got a couple staples in each spot and it's stretched pretty good, just work your way around, pull it tight, and staple it. You're probably going to want staples at least every inch, like almost non-stop the whole way around. In your corners, you're going to get this extra flat. Keep your staples out near the edge. You can cut a lot of this off later. But yeah, you can just fold that and kind of staple it back. Then once that's folded, it'll stay out of the way there. I like to use a sharp utility knife to cut that off. You can just kind of go around. Just cut around with the utility knife, just like that. All right, now let's go put this thing on. All right, guys, here it is, our installed seat cover, which is a major improvement to this old four-wheeler. Not perfect. Cheap seat cover plus lumpy foam didn't help, but if you see before what it looked like compared to now, it's a big improvement. So it's not too hard to do. Dirt bike seats are even easier. Seats that the foam's not all ripped up is even easier. And if you buy like a good quality seat cover and don't cheap out like I did, it'll be even easier yet. So anyhow, check the link for tools if you're wondering what tools you need for this. And thanks for watching. I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, like this video if it helped you. And yeah, thanks for watching.